along with me. We are the Eagles on the road to victory. All for one and one for all will answer to the call. We're the greatest team of all. The wonder is forever. We will always stick together. We will always do our best to see it through for the good old gold and blue.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Shred at the Shed. Huge pod today, super excited. First the formalities, the sponsors, can't play without them. So thanks to Hardy Aviation, Sandrin Property Group, Silks Darwin, CFS Gear, Cricket and Footy Shop, Air Raid Records, ALPA, DTA Contractors, SLR, MBS Mechanical Building Services NT, Lawrence Air, Pritchard Francis, Civil and Structural Engineering Consultants, City Tyre Service Auto Care, C-Link Northern Territory, Elders Insurance Darwin, Bendigo Banks, Finlayson's Lawyers and BMD. So, the round 4 match review. We played St Mary's on 22nd of October at 7pm TAO Stadium. Conditions as predicted, 30 plus degrees, 60% plus humidity. Final score in the end was very low scoring, 47 to 44. We had a 3-point win. Huge to get the first one on the board. Going through the stats, it was the first time we had over a 2 kick to handball ratio, so it was our highest for the year, and that's a good indication that you don't muck around with it as much and over handball it, so good sign for us. We had our highest kicking efficiency as well, 72%, so still lots of improvement, but that was the key to our game, I guess, our skills. We lost the contested stats. We know Saints are very strong in that area, but we didn't get smashed. So we did enough and then won the uncontested stats, like uncontested kicks, marks, handball receives. So our back six really were excellent. They stood up, had +6 spoils, +12 rebound 50s, especially in that last quarter. Saints were coming home strong. We managed to hang on. Forwards need a kick straighter. That's a big improvement area, and mainly due to me as well. So the 3 ways in kick goals, the hardest being kick in. We kicked our first one for the year and kept Saints to nothing, so we had +1 there, and drew with our stoppage goals and turnover goals. So it was key to definitely stop them with their stoppage goals because they're strong inside, as mentioned before. And going through the individual stats, some standout players up the top, these first couple as well. Daniel Waitra topped the disposals, 31 touches, 23 kicks, 8 handballs, 24 uncontested possessions, 15 marks and 4 tackles, so dominated up their Wheaties. And also Brodie Newman, another defender, 6 intercept marks, 9 rebound 50s, and 21 kicks at 81% efficiency. Pretty elite from Newms there. Dane McFarlane had 10 Kentucky possessions, 2 goals, 9 handball receives, 9 ground ball gets, and 4 clearances. So the Swan just getting it done. Myself, I shared 2 goals with Swanee. Unfortunately, could have made it a bit better as well. 7 forward 50 marks, 4 contested marks, 3 score assists, and unfortunately topping the behinds, 3 behinds, and also a couple fell short, so not very good. On one end, good on some ends. Mitch Taylor had 9 spoils, 9 rebound 50s. Dre Thompson and Dil Dos Santos sharing the top of the tackles with 4. Well done, boys. Thomas Motlop had 8 handballs at 100% efficiency. The sergeant, the general, just getting it done. Sheila Beer with 7 inside 50s. Knows how to get it in there. Ash Backlund on debut with 11 hit-outs, and Marlon Motlop sharing the top with 3 score assists as well. Our Intersport Game Changer Awards couldn't be given to one player, so we split it between the 2 topper that I mentioned before in the individual stats, so Brodie Newman and Daniel Waitra. Outstanding games from those boys, and like I said before, the backs really stood up, led by those guys. And on debut, Ash Backlund, the big fella, he was in the ruck all day. He's from New South Wales and he's living up here. for this wet season, and yeah, played his role to a T. Unfortunately, had a couple of injuries. One of them in the warm up. So Brad McLean, couldn't get through, and then that meant Brenton Motlop came in a bit late, and then he was a bit underdone as well. So he ended up doing his calf. Over to the other matches, there were 3 losses, unfortunately. So in the twos, we went down by 50 points in the Women's Premier League, down by 61, and the under-18s boys went down by 33 points. Week of training has been great. Pretty light week on the track, plenty of touch, plenty of recovery, considering it's a 6-day break. And Cooper's Day on the weekend, on Sunday at Airport Hotel, was a big success. Thanks Ben. Lots of fun there, but maybe don't put any more of them on a 6-day break for the boys. Give us a chance. Also, big announcement, iPod Shuffle Night. So that was a seriously fun night last year. We'll back it up, I'm sure. So that's on Saturday 19th of November after round 8. So more details to come. And huge news, Muk Muks Movember, we're getting this going. It's a great opportunity to raise awareness and some funds for men's health, in particular mental health, suicide prevention, prostate cancer, testicular cancer. And it's always better to do these types of things with a couple of mates or as a team. So we're going to shave our face before the Tuesday, 1st of November. We'll grow it out together for a month, and I'm just setting all this stuff up with the Movember website, and I'm going to put it under Wanderers Football Club. And so far we got lots of ins, and I'm sure a couple more boys will jump in. So far, myself, Clee, Toddem, Matty Motlop, Newman, Friend, McLean, Mansell, Arbin, Fuller, Butson, Dos Santos, Priest, Joel Cabillo, Caelan Fijo, and Mick Murray. So a couple of big ins there, and I'm sure more to come. Funny with Mick Murray, he's been growing his moustache for he doesn't want to let it go. He's been growing it for a couple of years, and he reckons he's pretty short, so he reckons if he shaves it and he works around schools, the teachers will tell him to get back to class. So that cracked me up. And with fines, I've sort of handed over the reins to the boys. I didn't dish out too many in the first couple of games, but we're getting some serious volume. Sort of getting the boys to pump through a few fines now. And there's a bit of controversy with the minimum fine. Should it be raised from $2? So, a few people just a bit upset about that. But I think with the amount of volume coming through, it might be okay. I'll rattle through these. This might take a while, but we've got Braden McLean. So fine. Just assume fines will be minimum for now, $2, and we can sort it out later. So running laps in his socks at training, yeah. Brenton Motlop walking 3 laps every training in slow motion. So yeah, a couple of these I haven't overridden, but they're Thomas Motlop, he doesn't take any prisoners. So I'm also getting a second mic as well while I'm thinking of it. So this will be good to rattle off a couple of fines with someone. Might make it a bit more engaging. Brody the Goose Newman, off the minimum fine actually, $10. He's got a little Gammon dress photo. So Gammon, for those people listening from not Darwin, it's just like silly or joking or whatever. So Brody's got a couple more to come. Burying the Hatchet, that's just one internal that people find funny. Out in the Full, we got an Out in the Full on the weekend, another fine, and he had a photo in the NT News because he had a great game. So there we go. Over to Dane Swan McFarlane. A couple of fines here. He had 567 holding the ball free kicks against. Thought he had all the time in the world on the weekend. A couple of weeks ago, he bought an extra flight home to get home a day early to see his missus. So fine there. Also doing 360s with the ball mid-game, thinking he was Tony Hawk Pro Skater. And several not 15 kicks. So they're all individual fines there. Daniel Fuller just continues to amaze us. Not released his podcast another week in a row. Talks a big game, but yeah, it's yet to be seen on Spotify or other platforms. Wheaties had a 50 metre penalty, so 50 metres are $5, so they're up above the minimum fine. But he confessed it to me personally, so early guilty plea. That's a $2 credit. Schiller beer. He dropped a massive fart during a serious coach's speech. So yeah, we're trying to be serious, and he's cracked the boys up. So there's a fine, and not high fiving Tottenham after kicking the goal. So just get around the boys, mate, next time. We've added no Wanderers singlets at training as a fine. So Junior Grant, there's a fine there. Dildos Santos booting the ball 50 metres into the crowd after the final siren. Unnecessary, mate. It's good to get the win, but yeah, we need to go fetch that footy. And also spraying people at training while just relaxing and stretching on the sideline, and people out there working hard. Myself, I've got about 1 million fines here, so I definitely should have opened it up to everyone. Attempting to kick a snap from 47 out, celebrating behind, being a centrepiece photo of a Wanderers FC post, so that's another way we can get fined. Locking my keys in the car pre-game, missed 2 goals from the goal square, so that's 2 separate fines. Misspelled McFarlane, added an A, and misspelled Awicha, added an H, so apparently we need to be great spellers now. So yeah, I've got to get out a mortgage to pay my fines now. Sebastian Priest wearing a bucket hat at training. Liam McMurray, no Wanderers singlet at training. Not McMurray, sorry. Liam Murray. Marcus Totham, a couple of fines. High-fiving himself after not receiving one from Schillers. Working at the NT News. That's a funny one from Thomas. Matty Motlop, cracking Clay in the chin with his shoulder, so just too keen to get the footy. Look after your teammates next time, mate. Mitchell Taylor, a couple 50-metre penalties, selling hats but telling people to keep the hats out of the sun. Thomas Motlop, 50-metre penalty, also doing his ACL in the game but then coming back on to play, and 2 times not wearing a Wanderers singlet at training. So big fines. They went on for a while, so I might need to figure out a quicker way to go through them. And over to 100 Club, same as last week. Social committee, Brody Newman and Daniel Fuller. Bring your $5. Pick 2 numbers every Thursday. Chance to win $100. And make sure you show up as well, because number 58 won on Thursday, but wasn't there to claim it. So once again, Wanderers bank details. The name's Wanderers SS. And the BSB 633 000 and account number 197 204 522. All right, over to the ladder. On 12 points, topping is Waratah. On 10 points, and in order of percentage, Southern Districts Crocs, Palmerston Magpies and Darwin Buffaloes. On 8 points, Nightcliff Tigers. 6 points, Pint Green Ants. And on 4 points, St Mary's and Us. And on the bottom, Tiwi Bombers. So pitching some stuff from NT Football with Jackson Clark. Facebook page, ex-AFL Watch, Boyd Woodcock has signed with Southern Districts. So they've recruited heavily, and it's reaping their rewards, sitting second on the ladder. And unfortunately, the game actually with Southern Districts versus Darwin Buffaloes, the game was stopped due to a really serious injury. So I've never seen that before, so it must have been really bad. But great news to hear that the player is okay. So that's the main thing. Now, a couple of days later, so match preview. So we've got Palmerston Friday night footy at 8 p.m. One of the latest games I've played at Kazali, so it's away for us. Conditions will be temperature will drop a little bit to 30 degrees. Sounds funny to say that, but being a later game, the humidity will be through the roof, 75%, and will rise throughout the game, which will be fun. Our previous results from last year, we had 3 wins from 3 matches. So in round 4, we're up by 54 points. Round 13 finished with up by 44, and round 17 won by 48. Unfortunately, this match won't be that easy. I'm sure their game style will have changed a little bit due to personnel. They've got a couple of ex-AFL players, Neville Jetta, Eddie Betts, Travis Farco, Ashton Hams, and a couple of State League players. So serious side in, and they're high on the ladder this year, and they'll be hungry for sure. So looking forward to the challenge. The other Wanderers Footy Club games, all at Palmerston as well. The women's are leading us in at 6 p.m. on the Friday night, and the other couple of games are on Sunday at Palmerston. So the under 18s start at 11:50 a.m. and the twos after them at 12:45 p.m. Club legend of the week. Once again, will be good to get a second mic and interview a couple of legends. Aaron Motlop, our current coach in his second season. as the head coach and as a player, he was a dual premiership player for the Wanderers in the 2010-11 season and the 2014-15 season. Also playing in the grand finals in the 2013-14 and 15-16 season. He's a 3 times Wanderers BNF, so 2004-5, 2012-13 where he tied with Thomas Motlop, and the 2014-15 season where he won the flag as well. So that's pretty handy season, that one. Also an NT represented player, and plenty more accolades falling under this category. But yeah, might need another half an hour to go through them. And yeah, forward pocket team of the century for the Wanderers Footy Club. So pretty lucky to have Aaron as coach. And an eagle quote in closing. And this is sort of one for mental toughness and just sticking to the process. Found on the internet by Anonymous. Don't be afraid of being outnumbered. Pigeons flock together, eagles fly alone. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great week. Take care and speak to you soon. Cheers.
If you are a Wanderers boy, then sing along with me. We are the Eagles on the road to victory. All for one for all, we'll answer to the call. We're the greatest team of all. Go the Wanderers forever. We will always stick together. We will always do our best